Schumer were actually behind him. We're now up to $15 million. So what everyday Arizonans really care about are job opportunities. And we've been able to work on that and provide more opportunities for them. We have more jobs right now, more jobs opening than people are looking for jobs. And this is really providing more future and more opportunities for people in Arizona. And we're going to keep working on that. Everyday Arizonans can't afford their health care because Obamacare has failed. And we need to make sure that we provide affordable, available health care for them.
Congresswoman Sinema, I asked Congresswoman McSally regarding what had changed. What has changed with you? Many remember you as being more liberal than you are now, back when you were in the state legislature. Now you vote more often than not with President Trump. What changed?
Well, Ted, as Arizonans know, I have been lucky and privileged to serve this great state, both in the state legislature and, of course, now in Congress for the last 6 years. And over the years, I'm proud to say that I have taken the time to learn and grow and occasionally even change my opinion. When I served in the U.S. Congress for my first several terms with Congressman Salmon, he and I worked together on a variety of issues, including keeping our country safe and growing businesses in Arizona and protecting trade. So over time, I think it makes sense for individuals who are willing to learn and to grow. The difference, I think, between Martha's approach and my approach is that Martha opposed many of these issues before running for Senate and then changed her mind very quickly. I've been serving for many years in the United States Congress and before that in the legislature, and have over time been able to grow and become even better at my job serving Arizonans. And folks know in Arizona, I'll always put their interests first, never party. So as you mentioned, Ted, I often do vote against my own party. And that's something I think Arizonans depend on and are proud of. They want an independent voice in the United States Congress. And what they want in the United States Senate is someone they know who stands up for them, not just does what party leaders tell them to do.
Have you changed? I asked you that. It's the first question. Congresswoman Sinema
Not.
says you've changed over the years.
Absolutely not. I left my home at the age of 18 and joined the military. I lost my dad when I was 12, and I was looking for opportunities to get a good education as the youngest of 5 kids. So I chose to serve in uniform for 26 years. I put my life on the line for our country. I flew 325 combat hours, protecting our freedoms and our way of life. I'm now serving in Congress, and I've been leading on the issues of supporting our military, securing the border, and providing more economic opportunity for people. And I've been consistently doing that, both serving in Congress and now running for the Senate. My record is clear and it's consistent, unlike my opponent.
Real quickly, you mentioned that you were going to appear with President Trump this week.
Yeah.
Are you proud of the way President Trump has conducted himself in office?
Look, President Trump ran for president one time and won, and he's a disruptor. He went to D.C. to shake things up, and he's doing that, and we're seeing the results from that. Not a lot of people wanted to tackle the challenges of North Korea getting access to a nuclear weapon that could hold American city hostage. Not a lot of people wanted to address updating bad trade agreements so that it would help Americans. And so he's disrupting things, for sure, in Washington, D.C., but providing more opportunities for Americans and Arizonans while ensuring that we're safe and secure from the threats that are out there.
So you're proud of the way President Trump has behaved in office?
I am proud that he has gone to the White House and he is leading our country in the right direction. I am proud to be working with him to provide more opportunities and to make sure we keep our country safe. He didn't need to be doing this. I've gotten to know him over the last year and a half, and he loves America, and he is fighting for Americans every single day, and I'm going to keep working with him to provide more opportunities for all of us.
Ted, I think this is an area where we do have a difference of opinion. I believe Arizonans deserve a senator who just calls the balls and the strikes and doesn't just always agree with their party leaders. And so Martha has a 98% voting record with her party and with her president, which I think demonstrates that she's not willing to do what's right for Arizona if the president's wrong on an issue. And I'll give you an example. Recently, the president instituted very harsh tariffs and has started a trade war. And that is devastating for Arizona's businesses and for our agricultural community. Thanks to these tariffs, right now, cotton bushels are selling for 25% less than they were before, and that damages our cotton industry. In addition, we've seen dairy farms, 5 of which have been sold because of these harmful tariffs. And I've met with business leaders here in Arizona, Blockwise and Tempe, that creates tools for medical device manufacturing, and they're spending 20% more on taxes on aluminum and steel. And perhaps worst of all, in lumberyard brewing, which is a family-owned brewery in Flagstaff, thanks to these aluminum tariffs, they're going to have to pay more for cans of beer. That's something I think we should all be able to agree on, that beer shouldn't cost more. And this is an area of difference between us, because Martha has said that the small businesses who will be hurt by these tariffs are collateral damage. But I don't think that the 97% of businesses in our economy, which are small businesses, should ever be considered collateral damage. They're the lifeblood of our economy. So I believe it's our duty to stand up against the president when he's doing something wrong, but join with him when he's doing something right, like working for veterans. So we should be calling the balls and the strikes, not just blindly following what party leaders tell you to do.
Congresswoman McSally.
Well, let me first say 97% voting with lowering taxes and rolling back regulations and providing more opportunities for our military to be able to keep us safe. I am proud to be able to do that. Kyrsten Sinema has voted a little over 60%, but here's some key votes that she wasn't with us. I voted to cut your taxes, providing the opportunity for about $2,000 per Arizona family, more money in their pockets instead of going to Washington, D.C. And we're seeing, because of that our economy is on fire right now. I voted for the Farm Bill. She's talking about farmers. She voted against the Farm Bill in a partisan move, because that's what Nancy Pelosi decided to tell them all to do. There's another bill that I hope we get to related to immigration, to secure the border, to end family separation. It was a really important compromise bill that I led on and that President Trump supported. And given the opportunity, Kyrsten Sinema voted no. So 60% with the agenda that is showing more opportunities for everybody is a failing grade in any school. And Arizonans want to be with the agenda that we are working on with President Trump, but we got to keep it going, because the alternative right now is her party. If Chuck Schumer is in charge, it's going to be open borders. It's going to be government-run health care and abolishing ICE and everything that goes with that. So there's a lot at stake with this election right now, and people need to make sure that they know the full records of our background. And I hope we can talk about tariffs later, because I believe in free and fair trade.
We will.
You touched on several topics we'll get into more in depth later this evening. Moving on to the second question, Congresswoman Sinema. The Senate confirmation hearings for Brett Kavanaugh were extremely charged. If you'd been a sitting senator at the time, how would you have voted and why?
You know, Maria, I was incredibly disappointed